Welcome to SCAD Library's Database Discovery Series. In this session, we will be looking at a resource called Passport, offered by Euromonitor International. Passport is a global market research database that provides industry data, country reports, and global reports about strategies and markets, as well as company profiles, articles, statistics, and presentations. This database includes information on national, company, and brand competition, market strategies, in addition to analysis and profiles of the top international companies in the industry. Beyond reports, Euromonitor provides articles and presentations on key themes and discussion topics. All databases provided by SCAD Libraries can be accessed through the SCAD Libraries website. To get to the SCAD Libraries website, you can type library.scad.edu into your navigation bar, or you can visit SCAD Libraries through MySCAD. To access any database through SCAD Libraries, you can mouse over the Research button in the top navigation bar. Underneath Guides and Tools, you can click Browse Databases by Title to see all of the databases offered by SCAD Libraries. This includes open source databases as well as subscription databases like Passport. To access Passport, we're going to click the P in the database list and scroll down until we see Passport Euromonitor International. If you're working on campus, we can click Passport and it'll bring us directly to the Passport platform. If you're working off campus, you'll need to log in with your last name and ID number before accessing Euromonitor. Please note that this requires you to accept the terms and conditions, which includes agreeing to using this resource for educational purposes only. Passport offers many different types of data and analysis, so there are several ways to access this information. You can do a quick search in this top search bar for a topic or brand. As we can see, searching for Gucci gives us a variety of statistics that are relevant to the company and any relevant brands. It provides us analysis, both about particular companies as well as broader categories. And if any dashboards are available, they will show up in this third category for dashboards. Dashboards tend to apply to specific industries or categories. So if we search for something like luxury, you'll see that we have dashboards populating for things like an industry overview, forecasting, and luxury goods data. Now this gives you a little sneak peek into the types of things you can do with Passport. As you can see, we have opportunities to aggregate data and create visualizations based on our specific needs. We can also see a mix of analysis, both for particular brands and broader categories, as well as forecasting for those categories. If we'd like to see all results in one of these areas, we can click View All Results at the bottom of any of these columns. As you can see in our search results, I've clicked into dashboards, but I can toggle between analysis and statistics as well. You'll notice this dashboard at the bottom gives a half-year update for personal accessories. This data is constantly being updated and refreshed, so there is new data all the time. If I enter into one of these dashboards, we can see what Passport is so good at: modeling data and providing opportunities to specify particular regions or categories that might be of interest to you. For this personal accessories half-year update, for example, I can select any region, like North America, for example. As soon as I've selected it, our graph changes. Since I haven't selected a country in North America yet, I don't have any data populating, so let's select a country like the US. Now we see our graph return. We can change the category. For example, right now we're in general personal accessories, but we might switch to something like bags and luggage to see this graph change. If we switch into traditional and connected watches, we see a change once again. We can also select the data type. By default, we see the retail RSP, but we can select something like year on year and select our metric, maybe year over year growth, to see a change in our graph. Now you'll notice at the bottom on the x-axis, we start at 2018 and we go into future market predictions into 2025, 2026, and 2027. If we click this plus, we can see each point discretely here. Clicking it again will show us specifically which quarter this was measured in. And as we continue to click, we can see different permutations of this same graph. Now we've gotten into this data set through a search, but let's try a different way. I'm going to return to the home page, and now we have a few options for how to proceed. We can see our most recent briefings in the center of the page if we're interested in what is newest in the platform. You can see that they update the platform every few days with new content. These briefings are great for broad analysis and narrative around particular products and trends. This consumer appliances report, for example, gives us lots of content about this subject, servitization. If we scroll through, we see each page of the report, but we can also browse this table of contents on the left side to jump to specific categories, like what is this topic and why is it important? If we scroll down, we can see the variety of content in this briefing. So we see different categories of information, and if we scroll down towards the end, we can see case studies in a variety of contexts. We can also scroll to the bottom to see the conclusions, which summarizes some of the information and next steps as well as trends that we might see as part of this briefing. In the left sidebar, we can also view related statistics, and this brings us into one of Passport's statistics tables. This is something you'll see across the Passport platform. To modify one of these tables, we can select any of these categories from the top navigation bar. So for example, we can convert the data and see it in different units. We can see growth rather than specific units, so we can change this to year-on-year growth. Now we'll see rather than units, we have percentages here in these year ranges. We can also change the year ranges. Perhaps I'd like to go back to 2015, and I'd like to see projected into the future for 2027. Once I click apply, my chart will change to reflect these dates. You'll notice that the dates in the future have their content in italics. This shows that it is a projection and not a measured number. We can also change the statistics type to things like market size, company shares, brands, retail channels, producers, and trade statistics. So if I select company shares and modify my search, now I see all of the major companies in this category, and we can see their percentage of the market in terms of retail volume. We can also change our chart based on the columns up at the top. So I can change this category from consumer appliances to something like major appliances specifically. And now we have different data. We can also change our data type from retail volume in some cases, but this is focusing on retail volume for now. So we got to this data through one of the robust briefings. Let's go back to the homepage one more time. One area we haven't explored yet is this navigation bar at the top. We can click into industries and see the industries that Passport covers. For example, if I'm interested in health and beauty, I can click into this industry to see several subcategories of health and beauty, like beauty and personal care. Once I've selected that, I enter into a new page that shows related briefings and company profiles, all those latest reports, but now they are specifically related to beauty and personal care. We can also see important topics here on the right. We can explore more detailed statistics in this blue Explore Categories box, and we can see all of the dashboards related to beauty and personal care here at the bottom. So we see those forecast models and industry overviews that we saw initially when we first searched. We can also click the across arrow to see things like a price tracker. This is a great feature for SCAD students. Price Tracker is a fairly recent addition to Passport, and it allows us to do price tracking across different products. These are growing every week, so as you revisit Passport, you'll see additional products every time. But you'll see that in our beauty and personal care price tracker here, we have 2-in-1 products, acne treatments, and after sun graphed right now. By default, we're in the United States as our country, but we can change this in the drop down. We can also change the category. So right now, by default, we have 2-in-1 products, acne treatment, and after sun, but you can see all these other products that have had pricing tracked. So if I select all, for example, and click apply, you'll see all of the different prices tracked here. So that's too much to read, but we might select related categories like BB creams or CC creams, maybe blush, bronzer, and highlighter. We might see if there is something like lipstick or foundation. And now we can click apply to see these prices tracked in comparison. Now these are tracked monthly and they start with a target date. What we're seeing in terms of numbers are percent change from that initial date. If we change the dates in the top here and drag this perhaps to just the start of 2024, we'll see this graph change. So we have a starting point in February 2024, and we see the change over the course of the year so far. We can also change this date interval to quarterly. So we can see if we add a few more years back, we can see the change quarter over quarter. Now we've been exploring by category pricing, but we can also click into brand pricing to see comparisons by brand. Now right now we have all brands selected, and this is a little bit too much to read, but if we change this brand drop down and compare maybe 2 brands, let's compare a couple from drugstore brands. If I click apply, now I can see those specific brands and their change in pricing over these same intervals. If I click a particular brand in this key, it will highlight that specific brand. If I mouse over one of these particular points, I can see the sales by that brand in particular categories. So we can see that Almay primarily is tracked through foundation and concealer, lipstick, blush, and BB creams. I can also click the brand to explore the pricing mix. So if I select this brand and click into it, we can see a more granular breakdown of the pricing mix for this brand, both in a stacked bar chart and a line chart. To go back to the pricing tracker, you can click return to brand pricing. Up here we can also see comparisons by category, by brand, and we have some about tabs at the end to tell you about how this data is collected, how the models are built, and the definitions will tell us which terms mean what. So it will talk about what it means by category pricing or pricing mix here, pack size, etc. Now we've been exploring an industry, but I want to also note companies in this top navigation bar. Clicking into companies will allow us to access company insights and sales data specifically. We can search for a company in this top bar, maybe Apple, and we can see all potential matches. I want to look at Apple Inc. for now. Once I've selected a brand, I can see the company dashboard, any competitor analytics for this brand. We can also see the company profile, any local company profiles if this company is doing strong business in any particular locations. And we can see that they operate in both consumer electronics and personal accessories. You'll see that once I've clicked into personal accessories, we have something new show up, which is analysis. This will show you current issues and notable events for this particular brand. We can click into any of these to see more information. The last thing I'd like to share with you about Passport is the Consumers tab in this navigation bar. With this data, we can understand consumer preferences in different markets by demographics. We can see that this data is broken out by household, income and expenditure, lifestyles, and populations. If I click Lifestyles, for example, we see that we can do things like explore the Lifestyles Consumer Survey, create consumer profiles, and quantify megatrends. We also see recent reports related to particular types of consumer lifestyles. If we'd like to explore lifestyles in the context of different categories, I can go to this blue box, click the drop down, and see different categories of information offered by Passport. For now, I'm just going to demonstrate one of the dashboards, Lifestyles and Consumer Survey. This produces a manipulatable visual dashboard. It may take a moment to load because there's a lot of data going on behind the scenes. By default, it's dropped me into one topic. It's selected eating and drinking, dietary preferences and restrictions for me. And you can see the type of data we get. These are results from survey data, so we can see globally what our results are as a response to any of these questions. And if we mouse over this, we can see the percentage who responded in each of these years. On the right, we can see a breakdown by country. When it says NA, it just means that that country was not part of the survey at that time. We can also change this from viewing results by country to viewing by something like age group, gender, or any custom comparison. So let's see by age group how this changes. Now we see our data broken out by age demographic. If I'd like to change the topic, I click this blue box in the top left that says Change Topic. And now I can break down different categories of the lifestyle survey. We can also see the results strictly by year. So if we'd like to see the lifestyle survey of just this year, we can deselect all but 2024. And then we can change all available topics here. So maybe I'm interested in spending and saving priorities. I can select something like current financial situation and click apply to see the new data populated here. Now, since I've selected the current year, I'm just seeing a comparison between last year and this year. Because I previously selected age group, that stays, but I can change this to something like gender or country and see different presentations of this data. If I go back to change topic, I can also search by keyword rather than by browsing through all the available topics here. And as a reminder, we've been exploring the lifestyle survey, but if I open the consumer dropdown again, we can see that there are different survey options. We have populations, households, and income and expenditure that we could explore. Now I've just demonstrated a couple of the major areas of interest in Passport for SCAD students. However, if you need more help, you can visit the Help Center in the top right corner of the screen. This opens up a new window where you can explore terms and definitions. You can see answers to frequently asked questions. We can see the research methodology behind all of Passport's work. And if we scroll down, we can see help guides and videos. And below that, we can contact customer support. Another place that you can get help is through SCAD libraries. From the SCAD libraries website, you'll see an Ask a Librarian button in the top right corner of your screen. Just like the Passport Help Center, you can access frequently asked questions here, and you can get one-on-one support through things like chat, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day, call, text, or email, and you can also set up a one-on-one research consultation to get more direct support. I hope you found this overview of Passport by Euromonitor International helpful. If you'd like to see more in the Database Discovery series, visit vimeo.com/showcase/SCAD libraries to explore videos on all different research topics, including many of SCAD libraries' subscription databases.